Hey, everyone. It's Jane from the Let's Get Loud podcast. And you know what, everyone? OMG, as you're listening to this, we have definitely hit our 1 million downloads.
OMG.
So yesterday, Alicia and I met with the guy that works at St. James that is taking care of us for our event. And it just didn't it make you feel like now I cannot wait for June 10th, like true fun.
I am just so proud of us that we're actually taking a little pause to celebrate this
To
moment
recognize.
because we just put our heads down, we do our thing, and we don't always acknowledge moments like this. And like anyone that's in the podcast world is like, what?
I know. No, for sure. So basically, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for always tuning in and enjoying our conversations here. It's obviously one of our favorite Wednesday mornings when we record, it's like, oh yay. This morning I spent 2 hours talking to Alicia about really fun things. And it's just another way for us to get our message out there and for you guys to learn more about us and your weight loss and we get to help you.
Let's take a small moment to say thank you, but also we would love if you guys could say thank you to us and just share the podcast, share it on your social, send the direct link to a friend that you think would enjoy it. Write us a review, give us stars, like all of that stuff helps us spread our message.
Yeah, because honestly, for us, if we start ranking a little bit higher, then it's it shows up for different people to know that we exist. Anyways, you guys, we're hoping that we're helping you getting louder about who you want to be. Louder about who you want to be.
I saw someone who is a member on the internet, and I saw her doing something that would have basically, I saw her doing something she would never have done before losing weight. Nothing to do with the weight that came off her body, though.
Right.
You know, it was like, oh, that would be so out of your comfort zone. Like you're growing as a person, you're trying new things, like good for you. And it just, that moment to me is what reminds me, okay, you guys are doing good things here.
Absolutely. And I think it reminds us of how weight loss can be such a beautiful journey. And yesterday in my stories, I was I'm such an advocate for weight loss. But because I'm not an advocate for dieting, but I'm an advocate for weight loss. And here's the thing, I do believe that society still believes that the only way to lose weight is to diet. And so that's why I'm not letting go of this. You guys deserve to know that weight loss can bring so much to your life. But if it's done your way, that's the only way that this can be a beautiful journey. If not, it's just, again, the same cycle of feeling like shit and guilt. And if you're not healing what needs to be done in order to lose the weight in this way, then it's not going to work out. But anyways, I just feel like we know that when people lose weight at Your Way Weight Loss, and we see the difference between the result. So it's not just the physical result, oh, they lost pounds. It's oh, look at them doing this and whatever. So they're really taking in the content and they're really taking in the transformation.
I didn't even notice the passion in your Instagram stories yesterday.
You didn't?
If you go on your stories right now, it's
yeah,
there's about 7,000 stories.
I have so much to say to the world. Okay, well, Jeff actually just walked in, you guys, with a piece of paper in his hands, and I just went to the mail, and he said, where were we? March 19th, while we were in Florida. And I was like, So I look at my calendar and I'm I remember that the Sunday, the weather was shit, and it was right cold. It was 12 degrees. It was that one day. So we did a lot of shopping that day. He's like, we just got a $150 US fine we just were fined for running a red light. Apparently I ran a red light, everyone. And that day I was so upset. I was so upset because I am upset that Orlando Premium Outlets, that there are 2 sets of Orlando Premium Outlets. You couldn't name them something else.
They're called the exact same thing?
The exact same thing. One is in Vinland. The other one is a little further. Okay. And so I was very upset that my GPS did not know which one I wanted to go to. Oh, it was sending me the furthest one. And I was like, I'm passing the outlets and they're right there. And it's telling me there's another 9 kilometers. I am upset.
Hey.
I am upset. They're right there.
Hey.
So maybe I ran a red light because I I don't know. I don't remember this moment at all. And I feel like my mom was with me.
I mean,
Tia
you
was with
obviously
me.
didn't do it on purpose.
Oh
Like,
my God, Benna. And like, we never had like a moment of like, shit, I just ran over like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, so, and I remember all these things, you know how I am. So I don't remember that. I do not recall. All I recall is how upset I was. And we actually didn't go. Because I'm like, F you, everyone. I'm not. The traffic. I just like get like, oh, like there's so, it's like you just want to go there and it's 17 minutes. And I'm like, how is it 17 minutes? It's
I
right
mean,
there.
remember when you tried to tell me driving in Orlando was just like driving in
It is.
Moncton?
There's just
You
a lot of
said
people.
those words.
It is the same. There's just more. It is the same, but it's more. It's the same, but not the same.
I was upset that
The same rules.
we had to fight to get a parking spot. That's what drives me nuts about like bigger cities is like fighting for resources like a parking spot.
Yeah, I see.
Like I think we 30 minutes trying to find a parking spot.
Yeah, it's almost ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And then it's your husband driving makes it all worse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It really does. Like it's his fault. You know what I mean?
100% always. And then you have to wait in line to purchase things. Although I'm so grateful that I waited in line at Lulu.
Yeah, I did not find one thing. It just depends. It just shows how you have to be like in that space. First of all, I didn't want to buy anything, but like, it's like I was there and I was like, there's nothing. Jeff was so funny with his like tank top. I was trying to find a tank top.
Okay.
Found one tank top. I'm like, just buy like 17 right now. You know what I mean? It's like, there's only one medium in a color that makes sense to him. Anyways, he's into tank tops right now.
Okay. He's got to release those arms.
Yeah, exactly. They're just so tight in those t-shirts. You know what I mean?
So are you in trouble?
No, not at all. Not in trouble. He just I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I have never had I've never been stopped in all of my years of driving. I have never had a police, I've never been pulled over. Jeff has been pulled over more than once and he's been in accidents as well. And
I do believe the police were called on you as a dangerous driver at least once though.
I just remembered that story yesterday because someone said like that was someone's like, oh, Jose's new car is nice. And they sent it to Brian and Brian was like, oh, that's a loaner. That's not her new car. And they're like, where did you see her? And they're like, at Spin, whatever. And then the word loaner made me think of that car that I was loaned. Yeah. There's something about like cars that are brand new and they are smaller and they just drive so nicely.
Oh yeah, small. Like I love driving a small car sometimes. You know what? Like when you're driving your whole family, you want space so they don't touch each other.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I mean,
I have 3 kids.
Yeah, you have 3 kids and they're all the same age and it's just not the same, but yes.
No, exactly. If you have 3 kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But when I don't have 3 kids with me, I love having the car. Just like zip into like a parking spot. Zipping.
Yeah. That's what I was
Today doing. It's raining, as how miserable has the weather been, but we're not going to get into that. But it's raining. We're not that age. And we had to take the car because we were taking the 4Runner to get the winter tires off. Okay. And the kids are like, and I'm like, how spoiled are you right now?
Yeah.
Your mom is driving you to school and it's raining. Look at these children walking in the rain.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
Be quiet. Yeah.
So much touching.
So much touching. And that is like a huge, like tons of families have that as their car. You know what I mean?
Hopefully I don't have 3 kids.
Yeah, hopefully. Or frig, like one time, Mireille came with her Civic, which is like a big, like it was like the 4-door, whatever. And Dia was really, really small. We were gonna like put her car seat. No, but ça fitait pas. Like there was no, I'm like, hello, what do people do? And Jeff was like, usually people with like that's why people that get pregnant and they're like, okay, we need to buy a new car because shit doesn't fit. I was like, interesting. Like people must have, and ça fitait pas, je pouvais pas fitter dans le front seat avec le car seat derrière. Like facing back. Yeah. Just put class. So interesting to me. Wow. Okay. Well, hello everyone. This just turned into something. I was thinking about how fun our lives are in May. And I was just like, I even added like Magic Mike. Like I just forgot about that. And then I was like, oh my God, like that's happening. And then there's like the party at Crystal's, and then like there's Dia's birthday. And then like I'm like, oh my God, like May and June are just a good time. It's like a good time.
Chocked full of all the fun.
Yeah, exactly. And now maybe my friggin' sale, my clothing sale, we'll see.
Oh, I feel like you've got it in your brain. You've got a plan.
Yeah, it's just like it's gotten out of hand. Like my
It's,
wardrobe has gotten out of hand,
yeah,
and I'm like, okay, it's time.
it happens.
Yeah. Hmm.
I believe in
Okay.
you.
Well, I think it's what happened is we went to the mall yesterday, everyone, and we just saw that like I'm behind. I'm behind in times. I'm behind in with the style. Not any. Is it
It's
behind? I don't know. There's just so many things that I don't wear.
it's a lot. Like keeping up with the style is a lot.
It's a lot. It's expensive. It's a lot. And then you buy something and then it comes back. So like there's certain things that I'm like, that came back and I might want to wear it when it comes back.
There'll be things that are easy for you, and then there'll be things that maybe you want to keep.
Yeah. Okay. Good talk, everyone. Okay, so today's podcast, we want to approach the conversation or talk about the fact that we are no longer weighing our members at our in-person locations. So Your Way Weight Loss started in 2012 and it had a look, it had a way of doing things. And then we obviously progressed as a program and as a mission and as a message. And then you just realize that there are certain things you're doing. It's like everything else, right? You do certain things, you're like, shit, I'm just doing this for weight loss. So it's the same here. It was like I was doing that. And I think it started where I'm like, I'm not getting weight there. My employees weren't getting weight there anymore. And it was like, why are we doing this? They're just like, and then the pandemic hit and it was like, oof, c'est plus la même affaire. Everything's
The
different.
pandemic gave us just that opportunity. It gave us perspective, and it gave us an opportunity to take a step back and be like, okay, this is the service that we were providing. Does this align with our values and our message? And I think, the pandemic, not just in our industry, gave people a chance to kind of make a change, because I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but you don't like change. Whenever we try and change something, people get a little twitchy. So it gave us the perfect opportunity to do that. And even more so because when we opened up our locations, that was the time that if we would have had a scale and someone like standing there, we would have needed like plexiglass.
Yeah,
Remember?
exactly. Yeah. So we
We're
had
like,
to, yeah. So it started off with like, first you had to like get in line to get weighed, which like makes me feel icky inside. And then
yeah,
once we had the pandemic, you had to be 6 feet apart. So the employee would just be away from the person and they would just weigh themselves. Now that was traumatic for some of our members. Like they had just
yes,
been so used to like another set of eyes looking at their weight. And it's not the set of eyes that's the issue, everyone. It's that they had created a belief that they were successful or not successful because of the eyes or the lack of the eyes. And I'm like, that's a problem. And I was thinking about this, Leash. What happened is we realized that the results we wanted are because we provide a service, as you said. So you have a service, you want the service to provide or create a certain result. And then we realized our service was not helping our members create the result we wanted for them, the result that our program should give you. And so if our program was just about losing weight, sure, we could say that when you are feeling uncomfortable in front of someone, you might do things, whatever, for weight loss. It's just like, sure, counting calories is a strategy for weight loss. Sure, intermittent fasting is a strategy for, you know what I mean? Like there's many things, but that's not just the result we want you to have.
yeah. And what was happening too is the number was clouding the reflection piece. So,
Right.
sometimes a member would get on the scale and you have a conversation with them. That's that opportunity, that service is incredible.
Yeah.
Having a moment to touch base with me or you or Janice or Nadia or whatever about your week and about how things went. But the number was clouding the reflection. Like I would say to people, how was your week? Well, we'll see. No, deciding if you had a good week is not based on the number on the scale. Did you show up as who you wanted to be? Were you intentional? Were you purposeful? Were you happy?
Yeah.
So we really needed to like remove, and now we have an opportunity. They can send an email to team.
Yeah.
And they can have that real reflection moment with or without a number, and it just separates.
Because us taking away the scale is not us taking away the number, that the number is not important in a weight loss journey. Pas tout. It's that it was the setup of it wasn't allowing, it was really diet focused. And it's very much like, and then you're like, why did you do it for so many years? Because that's all we knew as a service provided to help people lose weight. And so then it's like, no, we want it to be different. We don't want to be offering just weight loss. I'm sorry, like Weight Watchers want you to lose weight and they can say like, oh, we want mindset or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know what they provide, but they're giving you a tool that does, if you're not thinking about the fact that you're not in control and that you have to count and that you can't, there's other things happening in the background that the conversation is not there. And I'm like, well, let's have a conversation about that. So for us, that was getting weighed at the location. Like someone would have been like, why are you weighing people at the location? You know, you're saying that, you know, because when they get weighed in front of someone else, they would say things like, oh, I'm not, like in their brain during the week, the consequence of getting weighed in front of someone else, the consequence of it, it's just like the consequence of counting your points, right? The consequence of getting weighed in front of someone else was you are behaving in a way just because of that. Like you're like, oh my God, I'm going to get weighed in front of Jose or whatever. Like I can't eat that tonight, or I'm going to get weighed tomorrow morning. That's not what we want. Like, no. That's not the result. That's not good.
Nope. And that's not what we want to inspire you to show up as who you want to be. And exactly. I'm just even thinking back to, if you remember, before we took away the scale, we actually stopped writing it down. So for years, we would write their name and their weight. Okay. And we were doing math.
Yeah.
For them. Then we stopped doing math. And they were like, can you do the math for me?
I know.
Then we stopped writing it down. We're like, why are you not writing that down? Because we do nothing with this piece of paper. Like, why do I need
I don't need to know how much you weigh. Like that doesn't change. Yeah.
I don't need to know how much you weigh. So that was like part of it. But then the other part too is the behaviors we saw in our members. Mm-hmm. The Friday behaviors. I'm just going to close some stuff on my computer. I feel like it's dinging.
Okay. I don't hear it, but I've closed it.
I hear it when I'm re-listening to our podcast. I hear it though.
Oh.
Okay. I think we're good. Yeah. So let's talk about those Friday behaviors, because our locations are open on Saturday mornings, guys. So we started to recognize that there were certain behaviors that were happening on a Friday that, again, made me feel like icky a little bit, made me feel uncomfortable when I would hear members using that language. It was like, we knew it wasn't exactly aligning with our values, but we didn't know like how to make the change or how to communicate why. It was difficult.
And, you know, I'm going to say this, okay? We realized that some people were just coming to our location to get on a scale in front of someone else, not even staying for the actual the actual change that we make in people's lives is our weekly meeting, watching content, challenging your beliefs, changing your perception. That's what we do. Okay. And weight loss can be a byproduct of that. So we were offering a scale to like check if the work you're putting in is working. That's basically it. Check at home. Okay. Yeah. Because we realized that we were enabling just that particular behavior, the weighing part. And weight loss, or your weight loss, what it is beyond that. It's more than that. It's taking in content and challenging your beliefs so that you can behave in a way that allows you to lose weight. That's basically it. But the scale, we realized some people were just coming for the scale, never watching a live because of the way they were talking to us. We're like, you never have watched anything we've ever said. Like, that's just what it is. And you know what? It's hard for us because we knew that some people weren't going to come back if we let go of the scale. Absolutely. And I said to Alicia, if the people that we lose that are just coming I am ready to lose these people because I feel like I am not the service they're looking for anymore. So it's like, I don't provide what you're looking for, and I am proud of what I provide. And if you don't see value in my message every week and whatever. So for me, it's like, we knew we were going to keep the people that always sit down and watch our meetings, and they were going to understand why we're taking away the scale because we had the chance to talk to them. But if people aren't listening, they just stick to whatever so that was a big piece of it as well.
Huge. So we saw things, guys, and as you're listening to this, maybe you can kind of recognize yourself in some of these behaviors or thoughts. And, perhaps that's an indicator that you're putting too much emphasis on the weight loss part and the number on the scale and not enough emphasis into changing your mindset, changing your life, creating your happiness. Like, I know it sounds rainbows and butterflies, but that's the secret. So, you know, we saw people, first of all, like weighing themselves at home, but then also getting on our scale. And then, oh, well, this is 0.3, 0.4. And what about people that sometimes we'd have multiple scales and they would try and get on a different scale to see if they get a 0.2 pound difference. Like,
Yeah. That's when we realize, like, okay, it's creating diet behaviors. It's creating like more trauma.
yes.
And here's the thing, like we walk the walk. I'm sorry. Like sometimes I'm so proud of like, we're not getting sucked into what would make us more money. Like
Yep.
we are not getting sucked into that, because obviously we lost members by taking away the scale. And when
Yep.
people call, like, are you still weighing people at the location? I'm like, as in like, can I come and get weighed? I'm like, absolutely not. But what we do is this. And I know that society is like kind of confused by that because they're so used to the other way. And I'm like, we're not getting, like, we literally are so proud of, like, we know what we want our people to accomplish. And when we had the scale, they were not accomplishing that result. And I've had people that are so obsessed with the scale at the location, and they got according to them and their perception, they got amazing results while they were getting weighed at the location. Okay. Yet this is what really happened. You came for a short period of time, dieted, lost weight, lost a lot of weight. Okay. And we praised you for it. We did. Yay, this person got to 50 pounds. Yeah, whatever. And then for some reason, you stopped coming. So, and then you're like, oh, I would like to come back, but I need the scale. But you had the scale, and we had the scale for years, and you didn't come. So clearly, while you were dieting, you never developed the skills of real weight loss. You just dieted. That was not success. You did not get success. The scale did not give you success.
Guys, do yourself a favor and stop attributing one action, situation, environment, condition, resource to your success. You're actually doing yourself a disservice.
You really are.
Like, the only thing that is the reason for your success is you. So like
the lack of.
Exactly. And you follow you around all day. So if there's another global pandemic, why did we not gain a bunch of weight over the pandemic, Jose? Because we have access to us.
I have access to all the strategies, whether there's a pandemic or not, because I am the success. I am this is the success. My brain, you guys, is the success.
Yes.
So I was so, again, like, I don't sugarcoat even people that have lost weight with your weight loss. I'm like, it didn't work. Even if you lost 50 pounds and you gained it all back, don't say that it worked. You didn't do the program in a way where you kept it off. There is something that you missed as a tool or as a strategy that you did not do. And there is a chance that is, you did not even watch one video and you were just coming to get weighed and you were dieting. Like, that's just, and I've always been so honest with them. I'm like, don't say that it worked. Don't say that you were successful, because you weren't. And I know that it's your weight loss or whatever. I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's that you did not develop the skills to be able to be successful for years. That's what we want for you. And we give you those skills. We do. We teach you that, but that takes time.
Yeah. I mean, you were on a diet is what happened. That
Exactly.
Like, instead of saying like I was successful, or just say I was on a diet. I lost weight on a diet.
Yeah.
Check. So now let's figure out how you can lose weight not on a diet, because that is possible. We need people to realize that dieting and weight loss are not the same thing.
And it just felt ickier and ickier as time passed, that people were coming together. Like, this was not like du jour au lendemain. This was like, I'm thinking maybe next year.
Yeah, it was like years.
It was like years, you guys, of us talking about like, we shouldn't be having a scale. It goes against what, like, our service.
Yeah.
And it's a tool that, like, we are all about, like, you have all the tools. And we realized that one tool was contradicting all the other shit we were doing.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we needed to be like, almost like, you know how like mom, like you're a mom and you just like do things because you know better almost. It was like,
took away their iPad. We took away their iPad.
Oh, I love that. That's so good. Yeah, we took away their iPad and they were like, that is not better for me. I'm like, go outside.
Yeah, there was
Go
some
play.
temper tantrums, but then they were like, no, you're right. It was
yeah.
I'm really
And you know what? I'm so proud of the members that it was scary. And I was like, I want you to sit. First of all, they thought I was like closing the location when I'm like, we need to chat. We need to chat. And you know what, guys, it took so long that at the end, in total, in both location, 4 people were getting weighed. That's what it was though. Okay. We got down to like 4 people that were still getting weighed because we were like slowly like, you should weigh at home. You don't need to weigh. And like the message were like the people like, c'était tellement slow là. And at the end, we're like, we're taking it away, lo. It's happening. We were like warning them and like, you know, so like, on a vraiment bien fait ça, lo. It was a really slow process. So we realized like Alicia was down to like 1 person and it was even the same person every time. You're like, oh, it was a different person. She just like wanted to get on. I had for sure more people in Shediac. And I do think that it's because maybe I've been there longer. There are some that have been doing it for so long. And I was so proud to see some that I know how it must have like been like, oh, but they like were open to it. Cause I'm like, you need to progress. We need to progress, everyone. Like, oh my goodness.
I think if we took the average age of between the Shediac members and the Moncton members, I think your average age is actually higher.
Yes.
And so those women have been dieting for longer.
For so long. They literally do not know how to lose weight without dieting.
That concept is so foreign to them because they've
Yeah.
literally been dieting for 40 years.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Absolutely. Yeah.
So if you guys,
and also the older you are, the more set in your ways you are. For sure.
For sure. So when you guys come back to see us, because our locations are currently thriving.
Mm-hmm.
So if you live in the Moncton, Shediac, Capillet,
we want you back.
Dieppe, come back and see us. Our smiling faces are there every Saturday morning. Yeah. I do my meeting at 8:30 a.m., but we're open between 8 and 9. Honestly, you're more than welcome to just stop in. We literally just, it's a TED Talk. It's a half hour, feel good pep talk.
Yeah. And again, there is no magic in coming into that building and sitting down with your friends and coffee. What is though, it's a strategy that you have access to. It's a resource that you have access to, that someone that is from Nebraska. Why did I choose Nebraska? I don't know, but that's what came out. Okay. A member that's from Nebraska. Okay. She has access to different shit. All right. To help her create her way.
I want you to put Nebraska on a map. I want to give you a map and make you find Nebraska.
Oh, it's so bad. It is so bad. I know. I just know the East Coast of the States almost.
Oh, yeah. East and West, I'm pretty good, actually.
The middle, j'ai aucune idée de ce qui va on là.
Aucune idée.
I feel like there's just a lot of trees there.
No. There's also so many, right? We don't have to remember 50. There's like 50 states. That's a lot.
I know. That's a lot
of. Wait, what time is your meeting?
What meeting?
On Saturday.
Okay, at 8:30. Just like yours.
Est-ce que c'est en français ou en anglais?
Oui, complètement en français à Shediac. We, you know, like again, there was one person coming that was coming to the English meeting who understands French, and everyone else was always French. And I was like, you know what, we're gonna do one meeting en français. And I'm trying to really grow. You know, obviously, we loved showing up at our locations, and hundreds of eyes were looking at us. So,
guys, real quick because we're running out of time, but like we had hundreds pre-pandemic.
We loved it.
I used to get dressed up like I was going like on TV every Saturday. Like next level pretty.
Yeah, next level pretty. Stank, I would do TikToks about the makeup that I like of my outfit and everything every Saturday morning. Remember that?
And we want those back.
Yeah, we want that back. Please contact your friends and like, we should go back to Euro weight loss. Like that, like gave us such a good, good start. And we have access. You have access to that. You know how many people from Nebraska would love to have access to that? Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Remember, our summer special is on right now. It is a 4-month membership. It could change your life. Stop the fact that if ever you're like, it's not the right time, that is your perception of weight loss. And we are going to talk about that in our next podcast. Okay. Bye.